Hi and welcome to Elegant and Earthy. I'm in Atlanta and it is warm out. It's balmy and warm out. It's like 68 degrees, which is amazing. But with this 68 degrees, it is extremely rainy and there is like a flooding going on all around us. And it is, this is a scaredy pants. It is thundering and lightning out. So this little one is not going to be too far from me. But because of the weather, it makes it a perfect day to make butternut puree soup. And that is what I'm going to be making today and sharing with you. It's a nice, warm, kind of wintry, rich, creamy, thick soup that I serve with giant croutons. And it just kind of takes the chill off. So that's what we'll be making today. And I will share that with you. First, we have to chop this up, peel it and chop it and get it ready for the soup. And I'll show you how to do that. Okay, first you take your butternut squash and you slice the top off and the bottom off. And you put it on a cutting board that has been put on a damp tea towel. And that helps to keep things from moving around because you'll be wielding a fairly large knife when you're cutting this. And then once you slice it, you core it. Take out all the seeds, throw those away. And then you have your butternut squash so you can start making your soup. Once these are cut in half and cored, you place them on a cookie sheet with a little bit of oil. You can use whatever kind of oil you like, olive oil. I have grapeseed oil here that I like, I enjoy it. So we'll just pour a little bit of oil on top, kind of work it all around. That's good. And then sprinkle it with salt and pepper. And then we'll roast it in a preheated oven at 425 for about 40 to 50 minutes till it's fully roasted. So we'll just put some salt. And some pepper. There we are. And we'll place it in a preheated oven. There you go. And we'll begin roasting. While the butternut squash is roasting, we will take some shallots and peel them and dice them and put them in a skillet to start browning them with some oil. So that will be the next step we'll work on while the butternut is roasting in the oven. So in a nice soup pot, we will put some heat on it, put a little bit of oil in there. There we go. We'll add some salt and pepper. And we'll begin browning that. That will add some nice flavor to our puree. These shallots have been in here for about 3 minutes and it's softening and browning a little bit. And then we're gonna add the garlic. Mix that right in. Just for a few minutes till it's fragrant. Oh, it smells delicious. So once it's fragrant, we're just gonna go ahead and add that to our processor. And then the butternut squash is ready. We'll scoop it right into the food processor with it. And I can't wait for it to come out. I'm getting hungry. All right, we're taking a look at this. It sounds delicious. And I can cut into it, but it's a little too firm. This thicker one is much firmer. So we'll wait a little bit longer before we put this into the pureer. Ooh, doesn't that look delicious? And I can cut right through it with my spoon. So it's time to take that right out. Okay, this butternut squash looks fantastic. So now we'll just scoop it right in. There we go. We will add some maple syrup. Give it a little bit of sweetness, a little richness. There we go, just a little bit of a sprinkle. Great. A little bit. And then a little bit. There we go. And we'll add some. Now I'm just gonna fill this enough to help it get mixed in the mixer. And then we're gonna go ahead and puree it, put it back in the pot with the remainder of the chicken stock if we need it. And then we will have a very delicious, creamy butternut squash puree soup. Okay, the puree is just coming out of the pureer, and I will go ahead and add it. There we go. There we go. Get all the yummy goodness right out of the blender and back into the pot. Perfect. Now doesn't that look delicious? Nice and thick and rich, and just smells really fantastic too. So I'm gonna put this back over the heat. I'm gonna add a little bit more stock. There we go. And I'm gonna reserve about a half a cup of stock. I may or may not need it. I may need it later. So I'm just gonna stir this around, bring the temperature back up, sample it, and make any changes or additions that I need to. Let's see how it is. It's very tasty. I think it could use a little more salt, more pepper, and a bit of, there we go. We'll stir that up. We'll let all the flavors mingle, and then we'll do another taste test in just a few minutes. Stick with me. It's time for the taste test. This is the delicious butternut puree soup, and I'm serving it with croutons. And let's just take a look. There we go. Maybe do a little bit more. Okay. Now for the taste test. Let's see if it's any good. It's delicious. It's rich, creamy. I can taste the maple syrup a little bit, the nutmeg. It just is so delicious. I wish you were here to try it with me. Delicious. Thank you for joining Elegant and Earthy, and I'm so glad we got to spend the afternoon together making this delicious, just so hearty butternut squash puree soup. It's fantastic. And next time, remind me to share my crouton recipe with you. It's the best.